Hello everybody and welcome to Roll Together RPG and to the next episode of our Chronicles of Aeodrun Awakening series. My name's Josh, I use he, him pronouns, and I shall be your game master for tonight. And as you can see, I am joined by some very lovely people who are playing some very lovely characters who are in some very stressful situations at the moment. I'm going to get them to introduce themselves right now, and I'm going to start off with Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I use he, him pronouns, as does Karnan Udric. It's an orc druid. So I don't know why I said also. I'm not an orc druid. Partial. Last session, lots of things happened. I think we were still kind of reeling from the realization of the newly awoken people who were previous zombies. And we traveled up the town and we did, we regrouped and we realized, well, we didn't fully regroup because we realized that someone was missing. I won't give spoilers, but someone's not there. So we were like, some people need to go and get that person and some other people need to not. And I'm also not going to spoil what they're doing. But this is what we're doing. We're finding that person. And also, I saw my sister. She's been in battle. I opted out of the cutscene. Pressed X to skip, and now we're here.
Awesome, thank you. Next we have Talia.
Hello. So reeling after the very vague non-spoilers. Yes, hello. Sorry, I'm highly distracted by my own self. My name is Talia. She was playing. What's my name now?
Vesenia?
Vesenia, yes, I know. Vesenia, also she, her, our fiend, fallen, paladin, warlock, redemption and celestial variety. Pretty much all of the above happened yesterday, today, last session for Ves, with the side links of having a sweet little chat with her Sonny about magical powers and just trying to be safe. A bit of confirmation about what's going on with some of the evil powers and what their plans are. And now off to rescue, quite honestly, a variety of people from a temple place. I think they know we're going to the temple. Yeah, we're going variety of people with a couple of allies, new and old. I'm done.
You're done. No, that's fine. As you can tell, we've all had a really long week, but finally we have Evie.
Oh, I get a singing intro. I feel very special. Thank you. Hello, I am Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Peri, or Peripatea, who uses she, they pronouns. I'm sorry, Talia. Are you okay? Okay, good. Peri is a zealot barbarian who is a angel blessed in the body of a dark elf who is also a pseudo-deity of darkness known as a titan. I feel like I'm getting the hang of saying what that is now. It's getting better. And last session, Peri was playing almost a completely separate game to the other characters, as I only roleplayed with Josh. But Peri has gone with, what's his name? Big bad guy.
Gimdak.
He's gone with Kimmy into the mountains, appealing to humanity to stop the ritual of killing Lilla. Got up there, saw their fortifications, went into the jail with Tally, found Jessen, who was the angel blessed they were going to sacrifice and be the conduit for Savannah, who I goaded a lot, no regrets, and put a moustache of disguise upon her to turn into a rat and to escape. And then some things happened. There was a zombie version of another player character there who I am ignoring because burned journals, it's a thing. And then there was a distraction and it's all go. So that's what's going on in the mountains.
It's all go in the mountains. Before we get into tonight's session, we find out what's actually happening. with everything that's going on at the moment, we have a couple of sponsors and supporters we'd like to thank. Our sponsor for tonight is Phoenix Dice. You can go to phoenixdice.com to get yourself some clickety-clank math rocks, including some limited edition roll-together dice. If you use the code roll-together at checkout, all caps at checkout, you can get 25% off of your purchase. We are also proud to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. If you type exclamation point code into the chat right now, you can get yourself a code for a free Electrum chest, which you can use to power up your heroes that you can gather from various different realms and different places. You can battle waves of monsters for free on various different devices, including microwaves and fridges if you have the smart variety. We are also proud to be supported by Homie and the Dude. Homie and the Dude are a father and son TTRPG duo who make some really cool books, not just for D&D, but for other TTRPG systems as well. They have The Wandering Tavern and Scorched Basin, which is either on Kickstarter now. At the time of the recording, it's due to come out on Kickstarter, but it's either on Kickstarter now or it's going to be releasing soon. But if you go check out the links in the chat now, you can go to their website and have a look at all of it. If you want to purchase any of it, if you use, again, the code ROLLTOGETHER, all caps at checkout, you can get 10% off of your purchases for that stuff. And it's all really good, so go check it out. Finally, we are also proud to be supported and support Michael Dobson's character art. All of our character images that you can see on the overlay now were lovingly done by Mike. Go check out Mike's Instagram page, which will be in the chat or description down below. Give him a follow, and it will say on there whether his commissions are open or not if you'd like to see your characters done in that same sort of style. Massive thank you to the D20 Club Dice Heads and other tiers on Patreon. They are fantastic. They are the best. You can join them from as little as $1 of your local currency per month, or one goat, which must be sent to Tom for a variety of different reasons we've established in Roll Together lore now, by following, again, all of the links in chat and the description below. We've got the Myth and Mythios season 1 has come and gone now, and we are either currently on Scum and Villainy or that's coming to an end. Again, when we're recording this, it's all up in the air at the moment, so go check that out. Anyway, thank you very much. We will see you in a minute. I thought we were ending for a second then. We'll see you in a minute. In our last session, which was the group session where we had everybody together, the Battle of Merkstead had ended, and most of the party were recovering from that. They were seeing who had been either taken, who had died, who was seriously injured. Greta was saved with some very skillful help from both Udric and from Miss Faction, or Sati Faction, as she's called. Yep. Anyway, channeling the druidic powers to pull the parts of the building that have fallen on Greta up and sorting it out. There was shock at the fact that the Aether-infused zombies had now come back as what is known as Aether-risen. They're people they've regained all of their memories from their life. Some of them have been dead for many, many years and do not understand where they are, but they're back. Rodney is also one of those people who's come back to life, and there was talk about what the group were going to do. They've realised, and they realised quite early on, that Peri wasn't anywhere to be seen and nobody could find Peri. The last that they'd seen of Peri was Vesenia and Bram had noticed that they'd gone off into the graveyard area during the battle. So they went up there and there was no sign of Peri anywhere. Both, I need to say Talia then, but that's the player, not the character. Vesania and Udric decided to travel with Elodie and Valdris, Lilly's father, to the Redstone farm to collect all the civilians they'd sent there before and bring them back to Merkstead, because the army from Ostragos was on its way down to take Merkstead, being led by the Grand Priest of the Church of Balance. And that group's section ended with Elodie being left at Redstone Farm to gather the people, and Valdris turning into Elder Green Dragon, and with Vesenia and Udric on his back began flying up the mountain. We then rewind a little bit, because we come back to what Peri's been up to. Peri had been travelling through the crypts and tunnel network underneath Merkstead that lead up towards the mountain range, having a conversation with Kimdak about basically the things that he'd been doing and trying to turn him. There was already seeds of doubt in his mind over what was going on, because the Imperium, Savannah, Mortigan, all of the people he's aligned himself with have been kind of going back on the deals that they'd made. So that alliance between the two of them was kind of in place. We think Peri's pretty certain that Kimdak's not going to stab them in the back. Anyway, they got to the camp. As Evie said, Peri saw all of the different defenses that the temple has. There's a long slope that leads up with lots of trees and rock formations around, with lots of snipers in trees and things. So if anybody tries to do a ground assault, it's very difficult to get to the temple. When they got into the area, they could see that Lilly was being placed in the area at the front of the door of the temple, and Peri was put into one of the cages with Tally. In there, they found Jessin, who is Sunny's mum. Very, very weak. Looks like she's had a lot of her life force drained and age drained out of her. Turns out that's the way that Savannah likes to feed. She takes the life force from people and ages them incredibly. Think of the Wraith from Stargate Atlantis. That's the inspiration for that. And Peri, using the Moustache of Disguise, stuck that on Jessin after explaining to Jessin who they were. Jessin realising, oh shit, my friend Peri's here. And then they ran off down the mountainside. We ended Peri's little section of the story with Minerva, or Shadow Elodie, appearing in the cage, seemingly been taken as prisoner as well, and Kimdak shouting in one of the nearby tents as he is pushed out of the tent, and following behind him is an undead dwarven woman who he shouts out is his wife. And I think that is where we are going to pick up before we go to the group that are flying up. We are going to come to Peri first. Peri, you've just witnessed this. The layout of the land for you at the moment, as you've come into the entranceway to the temple, your cages that you're in are on the left-hand side. And I say cages, it's more of like a fenced-off wall area, so you can freely walk around, but there are cages within them that some people have been placed inside. Jessin was one of these people, which is why you were able to get you weren't able to get to her. You had to do some tricky little sneaky bits to get that mustache to sit on her face. There are a couple of other people dotted around in the cages as well. About 100 foot, just over 100 foot away from you is the entrance to the temple, and just in front of that you can see Lilly has been laid down on the floor in the exact spot that you remember standing in your previous life, where you were absorbed an awful lot of aether and turned into a large dragon. You can still see the remnants or the scars of that transformation around. The temple itself did once have this large sort of canopy with the pillars going along it, but when you transformed into the dragon, you smashed all of that open, and there is an abundance of dragon thorn everywhere, indicating that a dragon has died. There are lots of tents, and I explained that there was a wooden structure that had been built to house multiple different homes for the members of the Reavers to stay in. They've got a rather small amount of space that they need to try and sort of compact themselves into. And one of the main tents is where you've seen Kimdak sort of fall backwards out of, and coming out of it is Savannah, who is laughing away at his pain. An undead version of his wife, or his wife's corpse, has been reanimated, and two other figures. One is a rather lanky, slender, like a Slenderman type style man, hunched over. His arms look like they could be dragging along the floor. He's got a big respirator attached to his face and lots of mechanical machines on his back, like a big backpack with loads of wires and things that are feeding into various parts of his arms. Sorry, I keep knocking my mic. Various parts of his arms, into his back, into his head. There's wires everywhere. And then probably the largest bear you have ever seen, completely mutated and aetherized, but it's got metal. It's wearing like metal battle armor as well, but you can see that similar to, this is Mama Bear, similar to Daddy Bear, the bones have all sort of pulled out of them, and the spine and the rib cage are all sort of, basically the body's reversed, but the fur is still there, and it is growling and making its way towards where Kimdak is, as if it is about to strike at him. What would you like to do?
I turn to Tally and I say, well, there's our distraction. We need to get to Lilly, as I whip out the keys Kimdak got me and start doing that.
I mean, it is not difficult at all. It's the exact key you need. He sort of, the key that you need looks different to the other keys. The other keys are for the other cages, but this one's slightly more, slightly longer and has two prongs on it. You stick it in, click it, and the gate just swings open. As that gate opens, you feel a rush of wind from behind you as Minerva, Shadow Elodie, just rushes past you. You watch as she just breaks the manacles that she has on and she flies over towards where Lilly is and where the ritual was being prepared. There are mages and things who are beginning to prepare the ritual, and because I really, really want to say this, Tally just goes, "Not my daughter, you bitch," because I really want to do that. So, and yes,
As Tally says that, I just say, oh, we're supposed to be stealthy. We're using the distraction. Don't shout something. Oh my God.
I whispered it, it's fine.
It was loud enough for me to hear. Not loud enough. Let's go.
But the cage opens, and Minerva also causes a distraction because she just whooshes over all of their heads and they all just turn. They don't even look back at all of you straight away. Kimdak looks up and spots you and just gives you a nod. I would like for you to roll me initiative, please.
That I can do.
As I switch to my battle music. In fact, could both Vesenia and Udric please roll me initiative as well? Let's get all of this down at once. Okay, Peri, what did you roll?
I got a tenacious 12.
Oh, lovely. Vesenia, what did you roll?
17.
17?
Yep.
Awesome. And then Udric?
I also got a sumptuous 17.
Oh, lovely. Okay, right. You'll be pleased to know there are no later actions. So we have no initiative count 20. Right, as all of this is happening, all of these, Minerva is causing a distraction, Kimdak is causing a distraction. You watch Peri as just as you're about to open the gate, or just as you're about to come out of the gate, sorry, because you've already opened it because Minerva's flown out. Two guards come running up the ramp, or two reavers come running up the ramp, and they begin shouting towards Savannah and Mortigan. There's a large creature that's flying up. We think it's a dragon. We're not sure. Enemies incoming. And Mortigan turns to Savannah, and he turns back towards where Minerva has landed near the ritual site. And somehow, even though he's got a respirator on, he whistles. And you watch as from behind where the temple is, 5 shadowed figures fly off into the sky and begin making their descent down the mountain. You can roll me a perception check if you'd like to. Actually, no, because you weren't in the very first mission with Redstone Farm, were you?
You who?
Oh, sorry, Peri. You weren't there for the Griffin fight, were you?
Oh, no.
No, yeah, so you wouldn't recognise what these creatures are, but these things begin descending down the mountains as Valdris will go first with initiative count 20. Valdris is literally just flying up the mountain as quickly as he can. Could Udric and Vesenia please roll me a perception checks, please? Also, who has the higher dex?
Mine's only 1, I think.
2.
Yeah, mine's +1.
Cool. So, Vesania, you will go first out of the 2, so I just need to note that down. Okay.
Right. Perception of 16 for me.
Awesome.
23.
23. Okay, so both of you rolled high enough. With the 16, Udric, you can see, you watch as over the crest of the mountain these 5 figures, or these 5 creatures, come flying over, and they are grotesque looking. Purple veins going up their necks. They are flying creatures. They've got like really elongated necks with these strange beaks. If you think of what a Periton looks like, if nobody knows what a Periton looks like, I'll put an image up on the screen now. And if you think of what a cockatrice looks like, 2 completely different creatures, bird-like creatures, mesh them together, or slap them together. There was a creature that I believe Lucian, Bram, and Vesania, and I think also Elodie, all fought in the very first job that you took from the job board. This is a Peritrice. Except there's 5 of them. With the 23 on perception, however, Vesania, you notice that these things are not alone. They have got saddles on them, and there are 2 figures on each of them. One is a rider, the other is some sort of warrior, either wielding a bow or wielding a sword or something, but they are flying down and hurtling towards you. They look like they are maybe Reavers or maybe Imperium from the distance that you're at. You're not 100% sure. But they're flying these things and they're coming straight for you. But I would say, with how big the mountain is, they are... he can fly quite fast. So just so I don't say, oh, they're thousands of feet away from you, just so we can get into the combat a bit quicker, they're about 100 feet away. So next round of combat, Valdris will be able to get in range. And they will also be able to get in range of you. For the purposes of initiative, the Peritrices and their riders go on the same turn. Just to make it easier, otherwise we're going to have another big combat. That is Valdris' turn done. Udric, it is your turn.
Me?
Yes.
Oh.
No, sorry, Vesania. Vesania had the higher dex, sorry.
So you say that they're within 100 feet, right?
They are within 100 feet.
Cool. Eldritch Blast goes 120.
Awesome.
So I would like... I want to aim at the shadow birds, because you can't... If they're not running, then the bird, the people would fall down.
Yeah, you can definitely aim at the shadow birds.
So, I get... 2 beams now. So the first is going to be... Oh, gosh. A 17 at the first.
17 will hit.
Okay. Super. That's... Oh, great. 4 points of force damage. Really? Is that it? Yes, I guess. This feels low. And the second one will be as a natural 1.
Natural 1, unfortunately, misses as you fire the first beam. The first beam cycles through the air and hits it in the joint where its wing is. It watches the wing buckles and it dips slightly, but the rider pulls on the reins and it moves back up, so neither of them fall off. But as it does that, the second beam caresses underneath it and flies off into the distance. Peri, you see as a bolt just comes up over your head.
That was weird.
And I think that we actually have Corvu with us, so he's gonna be... I'm not sure whose turn he's taking on, but I thought he might be then able to give Udric a help action for whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't waste it, but okay.
But, well, all I know for Corvu's what to do is that he can give help actions because we don't have his stats or ability things. So in my mind, it's help action, and he's got a loudspeaker, and he can go and contact the others if we all die.
Yeah, so Corvu's main role is to provide the help action and to report back to Elodie if anything bad happens. Yeah, he can provide Udric with the help actions. Anything else on your turn?
Actions. Should we just check how? No, they're a little too far away for Hex. So I think that is it, and I can't smite on an Eldritch Blast, which is why it's weak and useless. I think that's all I can do.
Okie dokie. So at the end of your turn, Udric, you are up.
Now, Udric has demonstrated in a previous session that fighting things that are far away or flying, not his strong suit.
Yes.
I was just trying to find out. Good. Yeah, so I have... I have a crazy idea. I don't know if you're going to go for it. The only spell that I've got which has any kind of range is plant growth. Now, what plant growth does, I can throw it up to 150 feet away, and it creates a 100-foot radius sphere, I assume. All of the normal plants in that radius become like thick and overgrown. So I'm wondering if there is a place that is both mid-air but also close enough that some plants, like just on the edge, are just going to go fucking boom. And yeah, it all it says is a creature moving through the area must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot it moves. It doesn't say that it excludes flyers, unless I'm completely blind at this point.
Normally flyers would fly over it, wouldn't they? But
that's what I'm thinking. It's all it says is a 100-foot radius centered on that point. Radius, spheres have a radius.
Yeah.
So yeah, I literally just want to pick a point kind of in the air, near enough to some trees on the side of the mountain, and those trees are just going to absolutely hulk out.
So you can have a little look around using your perception check from earlier, and the way that I pictured this combat happening was Valdris was quite close to the base of the mountain as he was flying up anyway, and these creatures were quite close to the sort of rocks and things as they were descending down. You can spot that there are a couple of plants and trees that are sort of sticking out of the mountain as you're going up. So it is easy enough for you to just pick a point as they're traveling down, and you'll catch them in it as they go down, I would say. 2 of them will probably get a save to try and avoid it because they're a little bit further away, but the rest will instantly get tangled up in it.
Yeah, no, I will take that. It doesn't say any save, but I mean, I've got my save DC if you want to do something.
I'll roll against your save DC. It's more so because they're flying, whether they would be in range of it initially, or because they're not as close to the mountain range as what the other 3 would be. Because I've sort of picture it in my mind that they're in a line, so because that's so much easier when you're doing theatre of the mind stuff to picture. So it's just a basic save for them.
Yeah, I'm thinking just like all sorts of like brambles just suddenly kind of like infest this kind of area, and it just becomes a lot more treacherous for them to fly through.
Yeah, I can tell you now that unless they have a ridiculous plus to their dex, which they don't, 13 was the highest that I rolled.
My DC is 16, so
there we go. So yes, you will catch all of them in it as these vines sprout out and catches all of the riders off guard. They begin sort of trying to navigate and dodge out of the way of them, but the difference is that these things are alive, so they are grappling on and like grabbing the Peritrice's feet and pulling them in. And yeah, they are going to have to. They can still fly, but they really need to fight to get their way out of it. So yes, you have basically grounded them for the moment. Is there anything else on your turn, Udric?
I don't think I've really got any bonus actions that I can do at range either, so that's probably it.
Cool. Right. So after Udric's turn, it is Mortigan's turn. Mortigan, who also rolled a 17 on initiative, he rubs his hands together, looking towards where Minerva has flown over towards Lilla, and begins making his way over there. And he doesn't turn around or anything, doesn't say anything to Savannah. He just keeps on going. That's his turn done. Kimdak's turn. Kimdak is going to stand up, and he gets up onto his knees, and he holds his hand out towards the bear that is growling at him. And he's like, no. Look, right, you can't be doing this. Stand up. Why have you betrayed me like this? Why have you done this to my... Looking towards Savannah as he says this, why have you done this? And she just giggles at him. She'll speak on her turn. We come to the Peritrice, one of them. They are currently tangled up in the plant growth at the moment, and I believe you said that it's difficult terrain for them. Is that correct, Sean?
I believe so. Hang on a second.
Or is it damage? I can't remember which one it is. I can't remember if it's spike growth.
It doesn't do damage. It costs them 4 feet of movement for every one they move.
Basically just over half their movement. So yeah, they're not going to get very far. They're still within the plant growth as they begin making their way towards you. They're kind of trying to fly and pull away. They get down a little bit. They break some of the vines away, but as soon as they break some away, more of them wraps up around them and begins to pull them back down as they are still affected by it. The riders are still trying to control this rider is trying to control its Peritrice, but the other person on the back looks down towards where you are all flying up. You can't see their face because of the distance, but they just jump off of the back and begin plummeting down towards you. Then we come to Peri.
Ha! Cool. So my plan was just to go over to where Lilla was and start trying to get her out, but the distraction it's gone now. Everyone's looking towards where Lilla is, right?
Most people are looking towards where Lilla is because of Minerva. Nobody has noticed that you have left your cage yet.
That's good, but I don't know if there's a way for me to sneak round and do anything else productive. The plan was to get Lilla and head out, but that's not going to work anymore.
You can, if you'd like to find a way to sneak around, I could ask for, you could do a history check to sort of pull into your previous life's memories, because you know this area quite well.
Yeah,
if you'd like
I'll give that a shot.
Go for
it. So that is 13 minus 1 for a 12, but I can use my inspiration.
You can, yes.
Better. 16 minus 1 is 15.
There we go. That's pretty much what you needed. So you know from when you were up here before that you had found at the back of where this cage area is, where the mountain range sort of attaches to the temple. They seem to be melded together somehow. That there is a small sort of entryway into a tunnel network that leads through the side of the mountain and pops out near the temple area. You never had to use it, but it was fun. It was like this is something we could maybe store our stuff in if we ever had to come back up here once we're inside the temple. You'd all made plans of like this is where we put excavation kit and all of that sort of stuff, but never happened. But you know that's there, so if you don't go out of the cage, you can go that way instead.
Do I know how long that would take me to get round? Because it seems things are kicking off.
It would take you, so where the entranceway to the temple is now, if you were to run straight across the courtyard, it's 100 feet. If you were to go through the tunnel, it is probably 70 feet, so you could get there in one turn of action of moving and dashing, and you just pop out the other side.
Well, my movement speed, if I dash, is 80 foot.
Yeah, so you can get there easy enough. Tali won't be able to get there as quickly as you. Her movement speed is 30, so she would just be behind you. So she would be just at the entranceway as you pop out the other side.
As I pop out, I'm going to hit the rage. Because it's the second rage of the day, I start giggling.
Oh, okay. So you climb through. Both of you have to get quite low down to sort of crawl through this. As you both disappear, that's when the guards that had run up the hill turn around and notice that the gate is open. And they shout, "Oh no, the gate's open!" But Savannah goes, "Yes, we know that. She's over there," pointing towards where Minerva currently is, not noticing that you and Tali have left the cage. And you are able to sneak through, get up, run all the way round, and you pop out the other side. Just as you watch as Minerva has placed her hands on both of the altars where you know that the blood needs to go, and there's this noise that begins echoing around the temple area.
Lisa, Elodie, what on earth are you doing? I mean, what on Aeodrun are you doing?
Well, I'm opening the door. Everybody wants to go in there, so I thought, why not open it? I have the blood needed.
Now's not the time. Can you not see that there's people who shouldn't go in there right here?
Well, yeah, well, that's why we kill them.
Before we open it. What are you, stupid?
Where's the fun in that?
Don't test my sense of fun. Don't tempt it.
Yeah, she just sort of giggles as she watches you, and you watch as, you know how gravity begins to lift up around the ring that Lilla is in, as Lilla's body begins to lift up, and you watch as purple lightning begins to spark out around.
Stop it. Just her down. Jesus Christ. I mean,
it started now. I can't do anything about it.
Oh, I hate you. I hate you so much.
And I'm gonna.
I'm giggling. So sorry.
Yeah, she'll giggle. I hate you so much. And she's giggling back at you like, I know. But she's gonna. I'm gonna take her turn now. She's just gonna straight into your face. And she's like, "Don't worry, Lily will be fine. She'll be fine. Don't worry. It won't be the same.
Be.
I know, right? It won't be the same thing that happened to you. Don't worry."
You're the worst.
I know. She places her hand on your shoulder, and you just stand there giggling at each other. Yeah. Anything else on your turn?
So I dashed, so that was the action. I raged, which was the bonus action. I got nothing left in me. I'm just going to stand there giggling a little unnervingly.
Okay, as you do that, we come out of the top of the temple area courtyard, and we begin descending down the mountain again as two more of these Peritris and their riders begin pulling through the vines. They move about half their movement, breaking 3 of the vines as more sort of latch out and grab onto them. These Peritrices don't have any sort of, even though they're aether infused and their mutation, they're basically 2 creatures that have been spliced together. They don't actually have any aerial abilities, like they can't fire breath shoot things out of their mouths or anything like that. Most of the things that they have rely on them being able to get close to things, so they're not going to do anything. However, the riders stay on, but the people on the backs of them, 1 on each, just jump off as well, and they begin hurtling towards Valdris and Vesenia and Udric. Next, we have the aether-infused bear, or Mama Bear, who is going to growl and just charge towards Kimdak, and is going to make an attack on Kimdak. It's going to basically gore him. It's got 2 horns on the metal sort of armor that it has on its head. And it's just going to gore him, so I'm just going to roll that. Gets 2 attacks. One of them will hit. It's this damage. Okay, so if you happen to be looking, Peri, you can watch as Kimdak takes bit of a... he takes one of the horns in the shoulder and is lifted off of the ground, and then he's slammed back down into the ground again, and the bear grips its teeth around the shoulder and around the wound, picks him up, shakes him, and then throws him up against the wall. He took quite a fair amount of damage from that attack, and he looks not bloodied. He looks bloodied in terms of, ow, he's just taken a lot of damage, but he's not, in terms of his health, he's not bloodied. But he took a lot.
I always wonder how quantities of blood work in D&D settings, because players or characters will lose a lot of blood visually, but does healing replenish that blood? Fantasy blood, who knows?
I've never thought of that.
Maybe let's not.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna.
Sorry.
I've got to move swiftly on from that. I've already taken Minerva's turn, so that just felt poetic to do it at that point. So we come to another Peritrice's turn. Same thing, tries to fly, keeping sort of in range with the other ones that are going down. And its rider, instead of flying off to come down to you, pulls a bow and arrow out. Not its rider, sorry, the person behind him pulls a bow and arrow out and tries to aim down, and is going to take a shot down at yourselves. So I'm going to roll to see which one of you is going to hit.
Range.
And it's a long range, so it will be of disadvantage. But I'm going to roll a d8. We're going to have an 8 and a 7 is going to be Udric. A 6 and a 5 is going to be Vesenia. All of the rest is going to be Valdris because of how big he is.
Quick question. Do I remember rightly narrating last time that we were going to fly inside his mouth? Is that how you'd said?
No, you went inside of his mouth when he was in his Titan form, his Drake form. Yeah, to get to so you have been in his mouth, but you can actually hold on to him to fly.
Okay, good.
I rolled a 4 on the d8, so the attack is going to go against Valdris, but it's going to be with disadvantage because of the range and the winds and all of that sort of stuff. That might still hit. That's a 19. Although going off of that popular critical roll meme, when Grog tries to hit a ancient Gree Dragon, 19 didn't hit. 19 doesn't hit. Its AC is higher than that. As the arrow just pings off of the top of his head. Would you say sorry?
Oh wait, that's a good thing. I was making a sad face. I was like, oh no, dragon's good.
Yes, Ancient Dragon is on your side. Right, that is the end of that turn. Tally moves up behind you. I'll say that Tally took her turn at the same time as you, so she's already moved. Savannah can now see you as you've ran out the other side, and it just a look of anger comes across her face. She does not like the fact that you are trying to interrupt this ritual.
How does she feel about the fact that the ritual is now just happening?
She's smiling at that, but you can see, and you don't need to worry about rolling insight or anything on this, there is a look of fear on her face because you could interrupt the spell. So she is going to try and... Interesting. She is going to hold up your 2 journals in one hand, and she's going to ignite a flame in the other hand, and she's going to go, Peripatea, if you carry on with this, I'm going to have to burn your books.
Really?
Oh yeah, you're going to have to step away.
Joke's on you. I care about them, but I have a way around it.
I highly doubt that. So come over here, and I won't burn them, and you can just have them.
Impulse control roll. One moment. Right in the middle. That didn't help me with decision making.
Oh dear.
I'm just gonna look between the as I make a decision, because those are the last two other than the one I've got right now, right?
Other than the one you've got, those are the last two, yeah. Well, actually, there are two more, which Kimdak already has. So there are two more in this camp somewhere.
Oh, what's it with everyone in my journals?
They've got interesting information in them.
Yeah, for me.
Oh, they've got interesting information here for everybody else.
Them
That's why we
down,
want them.
Savannah.
I'll put them down if you step away from the ritual. Just let it happen.
I'm not even doing anything about the ritual. I just got here.
I know
It's
you do.
this bitch you should worry about.
As you say that, this bitch turns her head full 180 degrees to the point where it's it's not human the way that she's turned her head. That big smile comes on her face. Yes, I want to see the door open. She's clapping her hands in front of your face.
Even worse than you are.
I do not know what's going on, but I cannot use any of my magic against you. So I suggest that you just walk away now.
Can't you use your magic?
Not without disrupting the spell, no.
Good. I just kind of look at her, just giggling, but the smile is waning a little bit, but the giggle remains.
That is the end of Savannah's turn. Literally, all of the spells that she had, if she missed you and hit the ritual, no, she can't do that. So that is the end of her turn. The final Peritrice and its rider will again move in line with the others, and its rider will attempt to make another shot at your group. Same rolls again. I rolled a 6, so that's going to go against Vesenia this time. But it's with disadvantage. So that misses because I rolled a 7. So the arrow just straight over your head as we move to the top of round 2. And it is Valdris's turn. Valdris is always going to just move up the mountain to get close to its peak. However, he is going to attempt to, as they have all been put in such a lovely little bubble for him, he is going to acid breath them to see if he can do some damage.
This was why I wanted to check we weren't in his mouth.
That's actually a very good point. Right. So I'm going to, I think for the sake of me not just rolling dice against myself, Talia and Sean, do you both have access to 11d6?
Between us?
Between you, yeah.
Oh, God,
Sorry,
yes.
11 each.
Oh, bloody hell.
I can if I don't have my dice.
Yeah. So this is for the damage. So it's a 22d6 total acid damage, but you can both roll 11 each, and then we'll add the results together while I roll the Constitution saving throws.
I've got 66, so I can just do it.
Oh, if you've got 66s, I can only muster 5. So you do 12, I'll do 10.
Awesome. Okay, so Vesenia, what did you roll?
42.
42, and then Udric, what did you roll?
35.
Awesome. So they are all going to take 77 points of acid damage because they all failed their Constitution saving throw. None of them rolled above a 20. So these riders, the only things that are left out of all of this are the Peritrices. They're the only things left. All of the riders melt in acid breath. All the Peritrices do not look well. One of them looks slightly more injured than the others because it had taken a hit from the Eldritch Blast. But yeah, that was a massive amount of damage. As
At what point in the plummet do you think that they were like, this was a bad idea?
the moment that the acid, the dragon opened its mouth and all of this bile began coming out, and they're like, I fucked up.
And not the moment they came in a single file towards a dragon.
Yeah.
God, their sense of tactics.
if anybody's ever seen Scrubs, it's just the opera man in the background going mistake as they are, and they are just you just watch as remnants of clothing and weapons just fall down around you. But the 5 Peritrices themselves are still alive. And Vesenia, it is your turn.
Oh, has he moved?
He's moved, yeah. He's flying up. So at this point, he's flown over them. So they're now going to have to turn around and try and make their way back up towards him.
Yeah, I think at the point at which the riders were not a problem, Udric probably would have said, "Let's just ignore the beast. We've got bigger fish to fry."
I've got stuff I can do as we get up there.
You do you.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I guess a couple more Eldritch Blasts just to stop them from harrying our tail, because I think it's going to take another round for us to get where we can see people.
Yeah, I'd say one more. You can see the sort of crest of the mountain, as it were. So one more sort of move and maybe a dash will get you over that ledge, and you'll be able to see everything that's going on.
See if I can at least get that last Peritris, that injured Peritris down, so we've not got as many of them. So a couple more Eldritch Blasts.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, that one is a dirty 20 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. That is 6 points of force damage.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
And then just the same one. 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
That is 7 points of force damage.
How would you like to kill it?
Honestly, I just want to blow its head off.
Yeah, so it as let me just delete it off the initiative. As you are flying down, as you sort of fly over it and they begin turning around to make their way back, you spin round and you fire your 2 Eldritch Blasts. As these things are kind of pulling themselves up, having tried to shield themselves from the acid breath going over them, as it exposes its head, one hits it clean in the lower part of its beak, knocking it straight off, and the other one just hits it in the side of its head, and its head just goes explodes, and the body goes limp, being held by the plant growth.
Stunning. And can I just double check, because I've got my own, I do my own initiative as we go through, so is it, which number Peritris was this?
That was one that was at the bottom of the initiative.
Oh, number 5, okay.
Why am I not surprised that the battle planner also tracks initiative order?
I need to know when people are doing things. I had a system, so I've got the Peritris, and then for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I've got A, B, C, D for each of the riders.
I'm not judging. I'm very impressed.
Look, it's otherwise because I forget where I am and what I'm doing.
That was my role at the table when I don't do it so much online because notes. But yeah, when I'm at the table, that's the sort of thing I do. But anyway,
my role is the forgetting what I'm doing and where I am, but that just comes with age.
That is fair. I think Corvu's gonna go and give the help action to Udric in case a saving throw needs to be made or anything, just to give a bit of a warning.
Yeah, that sounds good. Speaking of, Udric, it's your turn.
What? Who are you? What are you doing? Yeah.
What are we playing?
How far away from the Peritrices are we?
I would say you're right over them at this point, just passing them, so they're within 10 feet.
Within 10 feet. Good, because without casting something that's leveled or throwing an object I'm going to miss, the only thing I can do is cantrip, which happens to have a range of 10 feet. So seeing what large dragon just did, Udric kind of takes some inspiration, thinking, like, I wonder if I can do anything kind of magically in that kind of realm. I'm going to use poison spray, but it's Udric just kind of tries to muster up a kind of poison breath and just belches loudly, and the spray comes out. attacking a creature that I can see within range, and it's a Constitution saving throw, please.
Cool. Is it like a cone thing, or is it a single target?
It's a cantrip, so it's single target.
Cool.
Just a small noxious cloud, nowhere near as impressive as our dragon friends.
So Constitution save would be a 9.
9 is in German. My answer to you. Cool. I will.
I had to think about that for a sec.
I have to find a D12. Which one is that? That one.
You organise them.
When I play wild characters, I just like to have them roaming free. Cool. What are we? Oh, we're 5th level. I need 2 of them. Which one are you? 11 points of poison damage, please.
Lovely. So you almost take out one of these Peritries as you spit your acid out, and you watch as its fur, its feathers, it's got a combination of feathers and fur on it. The antlers that are sticking out off the top of its head that had begun melting from the dragon's breath just fully fall off now. It's on its last legs.
Cool. And then I have remembered that I do have bonus actions because as using a hobgoblin for my base, I do have the Fey Gift, I think it's called. Yes. So I can take the help action as a bonus action. And when I do that, I'm going to choose the hospitality trait. So Vesenia and myself both get 1d6 plus 3 temp HP, which will be 3. So 6 temp HP.
Oh, lovely.
Love.
As I don't know, I think Udric starts to kind of remember his army days, and is nowhere near as tactically minded as Vesenia is, but starts to kind of just try to battle plan a little bit, and somehow that is bolstering your resolve.
Awesome.
But that's me.
Amazing. Okay, so at the end of your turn, that is going to make it Mortigan's turn. Mortigan, who was making his way towards where the ritual was taking place, has seen you come out of that little tunnel area, Peripatea, and you just hear him go, No, we cannot have anybody interrupt us getting into the temple. You will leave. And I'm just checking to see if there is a saving throw on this. Can you make me... Okay. Can you make me a strength saving throw, please?
I can do, and I am raging, so I do that at advantage, I believe.
Yes.
Cool. Get 2 of those. Luckily, one of them was a nat 1. The other one was a 19 plus 8.
Oh, yeah. DC is high, but not that high. As you feel your body begin to lift off of the ground, you just sort of use some of your maybe angel blessed abilities, or maybe Titan abilities. You're not quite sure where you pull this power from, but you're able to break the telekinesis as he tried to lift you up and throw you away.
I laugh in his face.
That is the end of his turn as he gets towards he's literally with the other mages who are performing the ritual at the moment. Well, they're not performing the ritual, they're just watching it happen. Now they were preparing Lilla's body, but they've moved away from it as Lilla's begun lifting up in the air. So, at the end of Mortigan's turn, it is Kimdak's turn. Kimdak is going to... He hasn't got any of his weapons on him. He is going to rush and he's going to punch a bear. Actually, no, he's not going to rush and punch a bear. He's going to take an opportunity attack from bear. No, he's not, because he got thrown up against the wall. But I'm going to use that as his attack roll as he runs and tries to punch Savannah. You notice, Peri, that he is avoiding going anywhere near his wife.
Yeah, I twigged that.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
He's going to hit. He doesn't do... He has a d6 for his damage on unarmed strikes. Oh, wow. Okay, so he does 5 points of damage to her. So she takes some damage, but she just sort of shrugs off the attack. You can see that he looks quite wounded, and she just laughs at him and calls him pathetic. End of her turn. It is the Imperatrice's turn. They're not. In fact, they will get the chance to try and make an attack at you, at the dragon, as they try clawing up. They're still being held back, but because you're only about 10 feet away, they're going to try and lunge at the dragon to try and hurt it, which I don't think is going to work. So there's 4 of them left. They get 2 attacks each. They're attacking from the underside, so they can't hit any of you. So that's 1 hit, 2 hits just. That's 2 hits there. 3 hits. 3 hits in total out of 8 attacks. And just get these out. That is going to be... I've not been rolling too hot on my dice tonight. That is going to be, he says, rolling quite hot on his dice. 17 plus 12. So it's going to be 29 points of damage that Valdris is going to take from that. He's an ancient green dragon, so he has more than enough hit points to soak that up and be okay. He does... he does grunt at it a little bit. He's not too impressed at the fact that something has just hit him, but he carries on flying all of the same. That is their go. I'll do that as all of the Imperatrices because I should have done that separately, but hey ho. Peri, your turn.
Cool. I'm going between Savannah, Mortigan, Imi. Lilla's behind me, right?
Lilla's right behind you. She hasn't quite come out of the entranceway yet because her movement will allow her to, but she's there.
Okay, and then we've got Lilla hovering. Does it look like there is a way to interrupt the ritual? Like, I don't know, body slamming Lilla or destroying a plinth? Is there like an obvious thing?
You know full well that there is a way to interrupt this ritual. Just go by going off of your previous life. No need to roll a history check on this because this is something you have lived. If you or anybody was to enter into that ring, they would get sucked into the ritual as well, and it would either cause it to fizzle out and stop, or it will cause a large explosion. You're not sure which will happen. It was one of the possibilities that was spoken about in your previous life.
I'm giggling. I go, Savannah and Kimmy are quite close together. I just go, if this goes wrong, you better remember me as a fucking hero. You got it? And I'm going to step into that circle. Or dive in, rather.
Yeah. Minerva can't actually stop you because she's got both of her hands on the pedestals, and you can see looking that there is blood being drained out of her into it, and you can see it's all flowing down the pedestals and going into the ground, and that blood is forming around the intricate circles and sort of like labyrinth style pattern that is around underneath where Lilla is. The circle hasn't the blood hasn't completed yet, so it's kind of gone from one pedestal down one half, another pedestal round the other half. You can see that it's all beginning to come round into one point. As soon as those two connect, that's when the ritual sort of reaches its apex, as it were. So as you step in, you can feel that there's a force field or some sort of force that's trying to push you back, as like this bubble is formed up around it. And as you begin to enter in, this purple electricity begins shooting into your skin and leaves like a purple burn mark on your flesh. As you begin to enter in, you can feel that warm glow from within you as Gwen is like, we've got this, let's go. And you push into the circle and just grab hold of Lilla. As that happens, the electricity begins, you know, like those electrical static ball things, yeah, like that, but it begins going, now that you're in there as well, it begins going, and it's literally hitting up against the force field that's causing around it. And you're not taking any damage from it, though, is the thing. and you begin to feel something within you begin to sort of bubble up as every time you get hit with it, it's like you're being charged, and you begin floating in the air as well as you have now become part of the ritual, but nothing seems to have happened yet.
Okay, but something will, hopefully.
Something will happen, yeah.
I'm hugging Lilla. I'm watching the blood go by, and I just give a mournful look to my journals as the black just streaks out of my face. Still giggling, but feeling some regret, but finality, and just kind of waiting for the next thing.
At the end of your turn, it is the bear's turn. The bear actually turns and looks at the electricity that is shooting around and begins charging towards it, knocks Savannah a little bit. She sort of stumbles and falls onto Kindak's fist as he's going up for an uppercut, and runs into Mortigan, who wasn't expecting it and almost stumbles over as well, and just headlong charges into the barrier. And you hear bones crunch as it's like running full pelt into a brick wall, and it moves away, and you can see his purple blood pouring down its face, and it begins clawing and attacking. It's trying to get to that aether that's inside there. That's its turn done. It is Tally's turn. Tally is going to run out, and she's going to scream, "Peri, no, what are you doing? Elodie, why are you here?" And Minerva's head spins round with the big grin, and she's like, right, okay. She draws 2 daggers, and she holds them. She's really not a fighter. She's holding them in reverse grip, which, if you've seen conversations that me and Nat have had, reverse grip is not something you can actually do. She's like, right, okay. And she just looks at the grip, no, flips it back, and she's going to lob both daggers, one at the pedestal, one at each pedestal. She's going to try and disrupt see if she can disrupt the ritual that way. Don't ask me where she got the daggers from. One of those was a natural 1, so that definitely misses, but the other one is going to hit. And she is going to do this damage. She has got an alloy within range. There we go. So the first dagger goes too low, hits into the more stone element of the plinth, and just bounces off. The other one hits closer towards Minerva's hands, where there is like a little glass receptacle that accepts the blood into it, and it shatters that glass, which stops the blood from flowing. And you feel Peri, you feel from the inside like a disturbance in the force, effectively, as the barrier flickers a little bit. The lightning stops shooting for a second, but enough blood has already travelled through to begin to complete that circle. But one of the crystals, basically, that keeps the barrier up, it has been destroyed. So she notices that. She's like, okay, looks towards Elodie. I'm not sure if you're really Elodie or not, but that's my daughter in there and one of my best friends. I'm going to make sure that I get them out of there, and if I have to go through you to do it, I will. And she's going to run over and pick the dagger up, and she's going to point it towards Elodie. That's Tally's go done. That makes it Savannah's go. She just growls at the fact that she can't actually do anything in that direction, because if she was to fire any of her many spells, she could cause the entire mountain to blow up, basically. So she's going to begin retreating, and you watch as she turns around and she whistles, signalling for somebody else to perhaps join the combat. We will move to the top of round 3. However, before we move and now that we have entered the top of round 3, we're going to go to a break quickly. So we're going to go take a short rest. Please do stock up on your drinks and come back in about 5 to 10 minutes, where we will see where this combat is going to go. See you in a bit, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We have taken our short rest and we are going to dive straight back into the action. We have had a kind of split combat going on where Udric and Vesenia are traveling on the back of Valdris, the green elder dragon, as they have been ascending the mountain, and they have come across some Periatrice, which are like a Peritron and a cockatrice sort of meshed together with Aether. Some clever tactics with plant growth and Eldritch Blast have kept them at bay, and they are just about to get to the crest of the mountain and see what is currently going on outside the temple, as Peri and Tally managed to find a little sneaky hole for them to sneak around and come out next to where the ritual is currently being done. Lilla's body was floating off of the ground, and a force bubble was beginning to form around it as Minerva, or Shadow Elodie, was pumping blood that she had gained from both Vesania and Elodie when she was first created, and is now pumping that into the altar to start the ritual. Peri basically said final goodbyes and then dived into the bubble, knowing that it's either just going to short out and everything's going to drop, or there's going to be a big explosion. One of the two, channeling memories from their previous life, grabbing hold of Lilla as electricity is sparking around. Tally managed to break one of the sort of glass dials where the blood is being drawn from Minerva's hand and caused the force bubble to fluctuate slightly. As we get to the top of the round, and Valdris, Sean, roll me a d6, please.
I will. I got a 4.
4. Okay, so Valdris does not recharge his breath weapon, but he will move and then dash. So he moves a full 160 feet and flies over the crest of the mountain, and the entire layout of what I've explained before is there before you. So he lands so that the two of you can get down, and you are basically can get straight into the combat. So for the purposes of you two, where you currently are, you are 30 foot away from where the ritual site is, and where you can see that Peri is now hugging onto Lilla. You can see this version of Elodie that attacked you, Udric, and you were there when created. Vesania is stood at the altar. Her hand on one of them she's lifting it up and looking at it, because the bit where the blood was coming through has been destroyed, but more blood is still being drawn out of the other side. On the opposite side of that, so 50 feet away from you, you can see both Mortigan and Savannah and Kimdak. Kimdak looks like he's been heavily wounded, but seems to be fighting against Savannah. And behind that, you can see the large Mama Bear and some guards who are beginning, or some Reavers and Imperials that are beginning to come up from the defensive position to join in the fight. So that is Valdris's turn, as he begins to, because this is a very small space, him attempting to do any sort of breath weapon attacks when it does recharge is going to hit all of you. So he's going to begin shifting back into his Dragonkin form. And we will come to Vesania's turn.
Okay. Gonna be so cheesy. Is there as we look on the scene, is there a way for me just to kind of work out, like, what's the biggest danger and what's the thing that we would be best for us to do, like, tactically? So, we've seen what people are doing, but I think about like the hows and the whys, and then what we can be doing to that, and kind of like tactically.
Yeah, that's fair. So instantly looking that Mortigan is a pretty big threat on his own. So that's quite bad, and he's making his approach to where Peri and Lilla are. You're unsure as to what's going to happen with the ritual, so that's not knowledge that you have. So that's not a priority. Maybe tactically minded in the way that you are. Protection is probably key. Protection is probably key for you here.
Okay, am I thinking physical protection or distraction protection?
Doesn't look like distraction protection is going to work. Everybody seems focused on this ritual at this point.
And last question, I'm asking a lot of questions, I know, but
You're all good.
the people on the flyers were Weavers are, if the Imperials are coming in, are any of them mine?
You can roll a quick perception check for me.
Do math. I was only a 13.
13. You can't see anyone that you recognise. They're probably not going to be wearing the uniform that they wore under your banner anyway, but you can't see anybody that you recognise here.
Okay.
As your guard, I should say, you recognise the odd Imperial soldier as somebody that you've probably walked across or sort of saw on parade or something, but nobody from your unit.
It's the one I'm most I care about. It sounds selfish, but they're the ones I care about most. Are the ones I handpicked. Okay, I would like to do my movement and essentially see if I can get between Morty and where Peri and the ritual and all of that stuff is.
Yeah, you'd have to move around the ritual, which doesn't impede your movement or anything at all, but you can position yourself between the two of them. I will say for both of you have seen spellcasters casting their spells, and you know how all of that sort of stuff works. Udric, it's you performing it yourself is still relatively new to you. The fact that you know that both Savannah and Mortigan are both incredibly powerful spellcasters, the fact that they just haven't wiped Peri off of the face of the earth means that they probably can't cast spells in that direction, is the sort of sense that you'll get from the fact that Peri is still alive.
At a point where, as I'm moving, I don't have any allies within 5 feet of me, so I'm looking at the wording of this. I would like to essentially cast Infernal Challenge at Morty.
Ooh. What does Infernal Challenge do? Because it's not something I've heard of.
Infernal Challenge, essentially it's very similar to another, it's like a compelled duel, but less. It's not that they have to fight me; it's that they have difficulty fighting anybody else. So they have. I gain a bonus to my AC. They have disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than me, and if it tries to, first time it tries to move away from me, it has to succeed on a charisma saving throw, or their speed becomes 0 until the start of their next turn.
That is very cool. Is there any sort of a save that they need to make now to try and resist it, or does it just happen?
A charisma save.
Charisma save now. Okay. I will roll that for Mortigan. Ugh, he rolled a natural 19. So with his pluses, I think he'll beat that.
Fair enough. I'm still going to yell at him. He might not be compelled, but he still might. So I might not get the bonuses to everything, but I still might get the attention on me rather than anybody else.
Yeah.
That's good. Morty!
Sister, it's good to see you.
Brother. This infernal ritual you have, this damned thing. I will not let you see this through.
I'd like to see you try and stop us.
Watch me. I'm also going to. I don't know where he. That's a bonus action. So if I'm in the way, I'm gonna stab him.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I hit somebody, please? Pretty please, can I hit someone?
Yeah. He's currently about 10 feet away from you, but you've got the whip blade, so that's got a 10-foot reach, so that's fine.
Yeah, I'm... okay, so use the whip blade. That's yeah, I would have activated that as I came down on the dragon anyway, which I'm just going to add in. So That is a 19 on the die to hit.
If it's just on the die to hit, that hits him.
Fantastic. I'm going to do that with...
Because I know your pluses are quite high.
as a plain blade, which gives me an extra fire damage. Right, fantastic. So that is going to be... I can do math. Why did I build a character with like 20 variations of a thing they can do?
It's real.
Yeah. Okay, 8 points of piercing damage and 11 points of fire damage.
Ooh, so an 8 and 11. There we go. As that attack goes through the whip blade, whoosh, you sort of bounce it off of the ground and it flicks up and catches across Morty's cheek, severing some of the wires that connect his mask to the backpack, and you watch as they fall down in very sort of breathy, raspy sort of noise begins coming out, because why not?
Fantastic. Are there any people that are nearby him, within 5 feet of him, or is he just on his own?
He's on his own at the moment. Savannah's within 10 feet of him.
Ooh, okay, fine. Whip blade gives me a second attack on him, just on that attack, which is going to be a 19.
19 does 19 with pluses.
13 with pluses.
Yeah, it doesn't hit.
Fantastic. That's my first attack. I'm going to do it again.
Go for it.
17 on the die, so...
Yeah, that will hit with your pluses, yeah.
Fantastic. Let's do this again. 6 points of slashing damage and 16 points of fire.
Damn, yep, that is a heavy hit as you whip the blade up. He manages to dodge out of the way of the second attack that you do, but then you bring the whip back down in a heavy sort of quick flick of the wrist, and it comes down and gashes down the front of his sort of from his shoulder to his stomach, cuts some more wiring and things. You can see as his coat sort of falls open, his cloak that he's wearing sort of falls open, you can see that there are wires sticking out of every single part of him, and it's all feeding into these tubes that are on his back. And from behind you can see, and as you've experienced before, there is bubbling green and purple inside of those tanks that are feeding into him.
Fantastic. I only get to double it once per turn, so I don't get a fourth go. I'm just going to look at him and go, this isn't even me trying.
Well, you're definitely going to need to try harder, sister.
Ooh, can I pump, though, a smite into that last one?
You can indeed.
You forgot about it. Uh-oh, who wants to be my smite buddy? You can be my smite buddy.
Smite, smite, smite.
No. Oh, that's a full... That's 10 points of radiant damage with that last third hit.
He's not undead, so unfortunately you don't get the extra D8, but you do a massive amount of damage to him. As you say that to him, the residual sort of burning that comes from the attack that you did just radiates radiant through him, and he's oh, your pesky little light magic isn't going to do anything against me, sister.
Yes, but here's the thing. I'm in the way of you and the goal, and you can't do as much as you can against me, can you?
I don't need to be there for it to come to fruition. I can just stand and watch. And maybe I'll pick your arms and legs off one by one like an insect.
Well, you always have performance issues. End of go.
There's a strange little beep, beep, beep noise that comes from his sort of apparatus at that sound. At that mention, sorry. At the end, is that the end of your turn?
End of my turn. Corvu is giving. Corvu exists to give Udric the help action.
Yep. So Udric will gain help, as it is now your turn, Udric.
Okay. Just to set the scene again, how have we landed?
Yes, Valdris has landed and you've managed to get off of him, so you're on ground level with everybody else. The ritual site is 30 feet away from you, so that is Peri, Lilla, Minerva, Shadow Ellie, and Tally are all within that 30-foot range. Going beyond that, and Vesenia, sorry. Going beyond that, 50 feet away is Mortigan, Savannah, who's 10 feet away from Mortigan, and then Kimdak, who's right next to her, seeming to try and punch her. And then probably 10 feet behind them is the guards that are coming up. I should say, and I forgot where its place was, that bear is right next to you, Vesania, and is ignoring the fact that you're there. It's trying to get through the barrier. It's trying to get to the aether, the raw aether that is pumping through that, inside that bubble.
Fortunately, I am probably the least useful spellcaster that could have come with this group in terms of trying to disrupt this ritual. How many guards and reavers would you say that are coming up?
I would say there are. Let me just roll a dice. Or roll 2 dice. I have 1 dice for reavers, 1 dice for Imperials. So we've got 3 Imperials and 5 reavers that are coming up, so 8 in total.
Okay. How many of them would fit within a 10-foot radius circle? Sphere.
Circle, yeah, that would, I reckon, positioned correctly, you could probably get all of them.
Okay. I think tactically, there are bigger fish to fry, but also, lots of attacks coming our way. That's going to be difficult. And I think trying to clear up some of the small fry is probably one of the most useful things I can be doing. So the first thing Udric will do is just with one hand raised, clenches his hand into a claw, and the ground around these 8 reavers and soldiers starts to wither. The grass kind of loses its hue. Brambles, like the mud starts to crack as I am defiling the ground. So 10-foot radius centered on that point, lasts for a minute. The area is difficult terrain for creatures that are hostile to me, and when a creature in the area takes damage from an attack or spell for the first time on a turn, it takes an extra d4 of necrotic, which is going to become relevant because with the other hand, Udric reaches out and grasps, and some of their kind of their life force starts to seep into the defiled area, as I'm also going to cast Wither and Bloom.
Nice. Now, is the first ability you used, is that a spell or is that a feature that you have as a druid?
That is Circle of the Blighted feature.
Cool. Next question for you. As you're doing that, are you walking closer to the ritual to get a view of the area properly?
I think I probably would need to, because it has to be within 60 foot, which I think they were just kind of on the cusp of. Just
on the cusp of. If you wanted to hit all of them, you'd need to move forward a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so I will do this while menacingly walking forwards.
You are the first person to cast a spell since the ritual has started to get disrupted and the force field is beginning to fade. So, first of all, I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no, I'm the ignition point. Con save.
Yes.
How does 23 feel?
Oh, lovely. You are going to take... This is halved, so you're going to take 2 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
As you begin to cast Wither and Bloom, you watch as the electricity from inside of the bubble begins to almost redirect itself and is trying to get out towards where you're casting this spell. And as the barrier sort of fades a little bit, one bolt of lightning sparks out and hits into your hand where you're casting the spell, and you watch as I need to put these dice down because I'm trying to do the gestures with my hand and it's not working. You watch as the lightning hits into your hand and begins to sort of coalesce around it, and sort of absorbs itself into your skin as you cast the spell. Any damage that you deal with this spell for the duration of the spell will deal 1 additional damage dice. And because it's Wither and Bloom, it will heal 1 additional additional one as well.
Oh, sweet. I don't know. So the tricky thing with Wither and Bloom is the creature that gets the bloom also has to be inside the circle. So I don't know if there's anything that I would recognize as an ally also in the area.
Within the Wither and Bloom,
it would have to be in that circle.
There isn't anybody within that circle at the moment that's an ally to you, so it's just enemies.
Yeah, I realized I would have to ignore that side of it, but that is all good. Okay, well, so Wither and Bloom is 2d6 necrotic damage. So are you telling me that I get 3d6?
I am indeed.
And then because they are in the area of the defiled ground, they get an additional d4. Are you telling me that is 2 additional d4s?
Yes.
Sweet. I'm going to push my luck as far as it'll go. It is a save for Wither and Bloom, so they can make a Constitution saving throw as well.
DC 16, yeah?
It is. And it's half damage on a success.
They have a +1. Actually, no, they have a +0 to their con saves. So 1 passed with a natural 20.
Okay. Dice could have been better, but I will take them. That is 13 for full. So 13 each, or anyone who failed would only get 6. No, anyone who passed. Anyone I failed to hurt. That's the way I'm thinking of it.
So is the first sort of layer of your druidic feature comes out, and they all look down at what's going on, sort of almost sinking into it as well, like turning it into sort of like a difficult area to walk through. So it becomes sort of almost like quicksand for them as they try to get through it. And then the Wither and Bloom sort of erupts from it as well, and their life energy begins to drain out of them, although it has nowhere to go because there's nobody else within range to take it. But you can see that they look gaunt and drained from it and heavily wounded. Even the one that took half damage doesn't look too what's the word I'm looking for? Too smart after that.
Thanks. Right, well, that was action bonus and me moving forwards, so that is my turn, unfortunately. Oh, no one died, did they?
No one's died, no.
Then that is fine. Yet.
Cool. Okay, so at the end of your turn, it comes to Mortigan's turn. Mortigan, seeing you, I mean, again, he still can't fire any spells in your direction because of the fact that the ritual is there. So if he misses or does an area effect thing, he's going to he knows for a fact that he's going to do some serious damage. So he's actually just going to move up to you, Vesenia. You don't need to cast a spell on me, sister, in order for me to fight you. I was going to do that all along. I'm going to rip your arms off, I think. And he's going to make 2 attacks at you. As he sort of moves his hands out of his cloaks, you can see his hands begin to elongate and the nails begin to grow out exceedingly long. And he's going to make 2 slash attacks at you. For a 22 to hit and a 21 to hit.
Tom, yes, they both hit.
Okay, so...
Okay. I'll protection myself.
That is... Oh, he didn't roll very hot on the damage, though. So that is going to be... you have no resistances to slashing damage currently, do you? No, so that is going to be a total of 15 slashing damage.
I think that's fine. It's not that bad. I can do that.
As he just slashes at you, causing cuts to sort of... And as the blood sort of sprays out of you as he hits you, it sort of floats in the air and then zooms behind it into the barrier and seeps into the floor.
Not the best outcome, but really, with all that talk, I thought you'd do more.
Oh, sister. That's going to be the end of his turn. So it is Kimdak's turn now. Kimdak is going to turn, seeing that the rest of you have now joined into the fray, and you need to stop them from trying to get to where Peri's trying to disrupt the ritual. You need to get them to stop. I've completely fucked everything up. Don't expect you to forgive me, but let's just try and stop them, all right? And then if you want to kill me afterwards, we'll deal with that.
Don't be reasonable.
And then he's going to... his first attack, he is going to try and grapple Savannah, which he does, thank God for that. Grabs around the waist, and then he's going to suplex her, try and get her on the ground, which he passes. So he just, instead of doing the whole traditional wrestling, pick her up and just slam her down, he literally just grabs her around the waist, kneels down, and then he jumps fully into the air, probably 5-10 feet off the ground, and brings her around with him. She's like, "What?" And she lands on her head as he slams her into the ground so hard that it causes a crack and a rupture in the ground as her body cracks into it. She's going to take, but she is now prone, so which is good. Oh my god, 3d10 damage. I rolled 1, 2, 2. So she doesn't take much damage from it, but she is prone. She took 5 points in total. And that is the end of Kimdak's turn. The Peritrice are all still stuck within your thing, unless Wither and Broom is concentration.
Plant growth is not concentration.
Oh, that's cool. So they're stuck
That
within
is there for the next hour.
Okay, I might as well take them out of the combat for the minute then. They are not there. Peri, it is your turn though. It's weird because I've got Peritrice and then Peri on the initiative.
Cool. So I've got ether lightning going into me at the moment.
You watched as some of it began to direct itself towards Udric, but once the spell was cast, it began going around the orb again, and for everybody else and for yourself, you can see that every now and then it hits into you and it leaves like a web-like veiny sort of purple scar on your body.
Okay. I've been here before. I'd like to see if there's a way for me to... I know, I'm quite familiar with ether energy, and I'm familiar with ether lightning because I've been in this exact position a lifetime ago. Is there a way for me to get in touch with my divinity and the ether that is infecting my soul and try and direct it to the crystals that are around for the ritual?
Roll me. Unless you have an argument for something else, roll me Arcana. Please.
Arcana is fair. Unless I can intimidate the ether into doing what I want it to. No, I think Arcana is fair.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage with this because of your experiences with Aether in the past.
Oh, I got a nat 20.
Okay, so you're holding on to Lilly at the moment and you're both floating in the air, and you can look around and you're getting a strong sense of deja vu. This is similar to what happened before, but not the exact same. Before, Kimdak and Solomon stuck the Aether on the little globule of Aether that there was on the door, and that's what propelled itself back at you as the ritual was beginning. The whole blood thing wasn't done before, so this is a slightly different thing. What Shadow Elodie, or Minerva, is doing is she is a conduit for both the Angel Blessed and Fiend Fallen blood, as well as the Aether conduit, because she's made out of pure Aether. So she's covering all three of those brackets on her own. From the research that you've done that was in your journal when you flicked through it and read it, and from the memories that you've gained from your previous self, you know that this ritual is either going to explode or it's going to complete. So you've got the choice of which one do you do. You know that you can prevent Lilith from dying if you were to sort of pull into yourself, and that sort of like aetherness that fuels your rage, if you were to channel that and point it at the crystals and sort of let it flow out of you, you're not sure quite how it will work, but you know that you can disrupt it by doing that. Basically what I'm telling you game statistics wise is if you give up a use of your rage, you can channel your inner aether to do something with the crystals.
I will absolutely do that. Just using the sheer force of anger and brokenness within me, the giggling just suddenly dissipates and I become very, very quiet. No expression, as I'm just completely focused on rechanneling this energy. Like, this is the third rage, which hasn't ever been used in this campaign so far because I haven't needed 3 in a day.
Yeah.
But it's all just draining out.
There's this, the black ichor sort of falls out of your eyes. It begins to take on that more purpley hue of aether as it does it, and it begins funneling out of your hands. And instead of going to just 2 crystals, it begins going to all of the different crystals. And there are 7 crystals that make this sort of ritual circle is the word I was looking for. And as your aether begins to feed into them, you watch as the purple crystals begin to take on a more black and darkened hue, and then with a little sort of pink accent in the middle of it. And as that happens, they begin to hum and glow, and the barrier itself begins to shake. Lightning begins to shoot out, and the barrier begins to fall, and the lightning flies out. I need everyone other than Peri to make me a dexterity saving throw, please. Try and avoid being hit by lightning as it's firing out everywhere.
16 for me. 1-6.
Is that a 9? Oh dear. Okay, so you pass Udric. Unfortunately, you don't pass Hera. You are going to take, as this lightning is firing out, let me just do math. You're going to take 20 points of lightning damage. Udric, you will take 10. And everybody else will also take some damage from that as well. To be fair, the guards are... all of the guards are disintegrated from the lightning that hits them, because they all rolled very poorly on their dexterity saving throws. Mortigan and Savannah are hit by it, but seem to be unaffected by it. The bear also seems to be unaffected by it. If anything, the bear seems to grow larger. And Kimdak is hit by it and is sent sprawling across the floor. Valdris is also... Valdris is the only one that was... no, other than Udric, that was able to actually dodge out of the way of it, because him getting hit by Aether is very bad. As he's like, whoa, dodges right out of the way. As this barrier sort of shatters and the dust particles begin to fall down over you and Lilla, Peri, you watch as Lilla begins to open her eyes as this large, like, the blood sort of connects together, and all of the blood turns purple and shoots a beam up into the pair of you, mainly into Lilla as her body is faced forward, and Aether comes out of her eyes and out of her mouth, but is funneled through you as that is shot into the door, and the door begins to open, and then there is a blinding white light, and everything goes quiet for all of you as we come out of initiative. You're not quite sure how much time passes. It's one of those moments where, you fall asleep, and you fall asleep at 9 o'clock at night and you wake up and it's 6 o'clock in the morning, sort of thing. You've got no sense that time has passed. One thing that you do get as you wake up is that the sun is now set. It's now dark outside. You can hear the echoes of what sounds like battle coming from a far distance away. Probably the fight happening down in Merkstead currently. As you all come to, you're all laying on the floor. Tally's there. Lilla's there in the middle of the circle with Peri sort of draped over them. Valdris is not there. Mortigan's not there. Savannah's not there. And the bear is still there, but it seems to be also unconscious on the floor. And Kimdak is not where he was when the blinding light flashed. Quick scan around. He's at the entrance to the temple, and he's coughing up blood. But the entrance to the temple is open, and Lilla is breathing. Oh, and Shadow Elodie's not there either.
I think Udric will probably run up to Kimdak, looks over to Peri just to get kind of an indication of what's going on.
So Peri just kind of groggily looks up and is just a bit confused, with probably still black staining their cheeks, just saying, "Did I save everyone?"
Yeah. Oh, my mouth is really dry, but I'm good. You did good. As you can feel Lilla sort of breathing underneath as she opens her eyes. It's the first time she's spoken in quite a while, but she wakes up and she's like, yeah.
What's going on?
Everything.
Wait, when did you guys get here?
Just as you were throwing yourself into the sphere of potential devastation.
I saved someone's life when my journals, I pushed Lilla aside and stopped looking around. You're all right, you're alive. Walk it off.
Make me a perception check, please, Peri.
So
while this is going on, I will pump first level cure wounds into Kimdak.
Yeah, please do. He's currently on 1 hit point. Yes, please do. As he's coughing up blood, as you get over to him and sort of inspect what's wrong with him, you can see that he has a couple of stab wounds in his chest and in his abdomen, and one in his neck.
I imagine the additional help is gone since the ritual's over.
Yeah, there's no more additional magic anymore.
Okay, so that is not high. I rolled the lowest I could on the dice.
It is Kimdak.
Huh?
It is Kimdak, so probably deserved.
Held back a little bit. Why can't I find my spellcasting ability modifier? There it is. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so it is a 6.
Yeah, still quite good. As his wounds begin to heal up, his neck wound heals up more than the others, and he just opens his eyes, sort of sits back a bit and looks at you. I wasn't expecting any of you lot to try and save me. I tried to stop them from going in, but my own people stabbed me in the back and the front, quite literally.
Yeah, your people are good at that.
Are all of your lot all right?
That we can see.
We're fine, we'll walk it off.
Right. Well, we need to get in there and stop them from whatever it is they're planning on doing.
They're in there?
They all went in, yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I was trying to stop the ritual and then it just happened anyway.
Hey. Hey. You stopped me from dying. that's an awful lot, and you know I could feel my body beginning to burn from the inside. So I thank you for that. But I mean, I've got to be honest, I am quite curious as to what's in there. Everybody seems to want to get in there, so
I've been led to believe that in there is the end of the world.
well, then we go stop them.
I've been led to believe that just opening it is the end of the world.
Everyone just sort of looks around. I mean,
Okay, so we're still here.
yeah, maybe let's get inside and find out what it is they're actually after, and then we can go from there.
Right. Before we go, hands up if you are desperately in need of healing.
You notice that Peri does not have a scratch on them.
Yeah, because you absorbed all of that
hit
lightning.
points.
Not desperate, but I'm starting to feel it. I am literally on a third of my health.
Lilla's fine now after the...
Yeah, I'm fine. Same as Peri. I didn't take any damage. Lightning was more being channeled through me than anywhere else. It seemed to be feeding off of my own lightning energy, so I'm good.
Fantastic. I've lost half of my hit points, but I can deal with that as we walk
I have
up.
no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
Oh,
It's to do with a health thing.
Okay.
yes, I've got a... Sorry, my head's always... I got to tell you something quick. Just a little sidebar. Jessen.
Yes.
I turned her into a rat with a mustache and she got away.
It was actually quite good as Tally just runs and rugby tackles into Lilla.
Additional sidebar to Lilla. Your granddad's a piece of shit.
Right. That's something I will deal with later. What was your perception check? Because I've realised that we've gone past that.
I got 15.
Oh, what, sorry?
15.
15. Okay. As you have a look around to see, are there journals anywhere? There is a brief moment of panic as you see a bunch of ash on the ground, but then you quickly realise that was one of the reavers that had got sort of absorbed, sort of hit by lightning. And then just as you scan back thinking, oh, she's taken them bloody with her, you notice a satchel on the ground near the main tent, and there is a book hanging out of it.
Oh my god, thank fuck for that. I rush over, have a thumb through, make sure it's the right one.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. There was one book sticking out of it. As you pick the satchel up, there's 4 books inside of it.
They're mine.
They are all the diaries of Peri, written in slightly different handwriting for each of the different lives that wrote in them, but there is a familiarity to each of them.
Okay, team. I'm putting them into my arm as I'm saying this.
Scan.
Scan. Okay, so we're gonna go in there. We're gonna stop them from ending the world. I've got my journals. No one's burning any more knowledge. I thought I was about to die. I'm gonna die as myself if we go in there. Okay, so just give me 5 minutes.
That's fair. I'm going to do a perimeter check and just make sure we've not missed anything. Give you the space. I mean, I want to cast Healing Light on myself and just give myself 2d6, but also, again, check that it's going to be safe for Peri to take this time. And also, if there are any bodies still around, that none of them are mine, that there's no traps, just check any of my people are here and make sure that Peri is safe. 10 points of healing to myself, and I'm just looking around things. I'm going to just do a perception check now while I can do that. That is a 20. I can do math. 22.
So there are still some you rolled very high on your perception. There are still reavers down on the the sort of defense area that you can now see, but they are hiding in the trees. They do not want to come up the top because they know some shit's gone down. So you can see some of them try to sneak down and are trying to run away, but none of them are coming up to your area. In terms of looking over the dead, the ones that didn't get disintegrated, none of them are your people, luckily.
That's it. I yell at the movers in the trees. Go turn yourselves in and become a better person, and just carry on my rounds. And that is me out, essentially. I'm just going to do rounds until the end of this.
Cool. Okay, so that's what Vesenia is doing. Udric, what are you doing as Peri prepares?
I'm not sure. I think Udric's main thing is that he just kind of, sits with himself, jumps into action when needed. So I think it's probably just going to be, I will ritual cast detect poison and disease. Just spend 10 minutes just looking around. I don't expect to find anything. It's just I don't really have anything else to do, but I can damn well make sure everyone hasn't got a cold.
Okay, we'll come to that before we come to Peri's thing. As you ritually cast detect poison and disease, very similar to how people explain how detect magic goes off when there's a lot of magical things around. It's like a blinding sort of reaction to the amount of magic there is. You get that similar sense from everything around you. There is disease everywhere. The dragon's thorn that is growing out of the mountains in parts of the temple out of the ground is laced with aether, because that's how Peri died, was infused with that amount of aether. So that is everywhere, and that comes up, that you detect that as a poison and a disease. You can tell that there are still some remnants of it on Peri's skin from the sort of like lightning bolts sort of scarring that's on their skin, but you can tell that that's beginning to, it's either fading away or Peri is absorbing it into their body. It's one of the two. You're not 100% sure. The Aether Bear gives off a massive radiance of this poison as well. There's no other poisons or diseases around. It's just Aether everywhere. And you're getting even, I know it's got a range on it, but sort of like a radar, you can tell that there is a large amount of it inside the temple as well. So that's what you get from that.
Okay. Should have known, seeing as we were facing off with a horseman of, was this death or pestilence?
Pestilence.
Yeah. Figures.
Oh my god, there's so much of it. Yes. So, Udric, that's everything that you want to do? Okay, so we will come to Peri.
So first I get out the book. I have it before me. I'm just kind of looking at it for a moment. And I just kind of whistle over. Udi, Ves, can you come over here for a sec, please? Just for a minute.
Yeah, all right.
Also, is Dragon Daddy around here, by the way?
Valdris is missing.
Missing. Okay, cool. So I'm about to do the memory thing. When I awaken memories, there's a chance that, I'm not going to be the same person that I am now. It's probably going to be like a death of the Peri that you know. Maybe. I don't know how it works. So I just wanted to say that I appreciate you guys. Before I don't know how this is going to go. I just wanted to say goodbye, potentially, just in case. So, bye, I guess.
I'm gonna hug them. Very signals, so if they say, no, just hug them.
I think Udric is not really one for words anyway, so we'll go in for the hug as well.
This is nice. Why didn't we hug more?
Because I'm antisocial and awkward, you're reactionary, and he's new.
I'm also naked a lot.
I literally don't care about that, Udi. We're all naked under our clothes, and that is the nugget of wisdom I'm going to potentially leave you with. I'm being dramatic. It will be fine. It'll be fine. Get off. It's fine.
It has been wonderful to know you, and I look forward to continuing to know you.
We will always be friends, whether your personality changes completely or hopefully is just an advancement of your current state.
I like that idea.
Could you be you,
Yeah.
but deliberately change one thing so that you're like good at guitar or something now?
Ooh, if I can choose to be really good at guitar, that would piss Bram off. Really, really badly. If I can do that, I will do that. And I will credit you for it, because now I'm generous. Or maybe I will be.
You already are.
That was a really good thing you did, saving Lilly.
Yeah. Remember that. I'm capable of... People seem to always think I'm going to be evil. They think I'm going to do the bad thing. But I did a good. Remember that I did a good. On purpose.
I never thought you were going to do the bad thing.
People did. Oh, I will find them and I will make them feel very upset.
Well, one of those people is your patron. Yeah. Yeah, you viciously point at the sky. She doesn't live there, but you do that.
As I point. You got this.
Okay. See you on
I'll
the
see
other
you soon.
side. And I reach out to the box, and I'm going to try and use my healing hands. I have, not my healing hands, there's a specific ability called Warrior of the Gods, where I'm going to try and channel that energy that I would usually use to heal myself into the box.
So as you get the box with the original codex inside of it, the original diary, out of it, and it slumps to the floor, you sit down and you begin channeling the Warrior of the Gods through you, and you place your hands on it. You can read all of the writing on there now from the use of the glasses cipher that you had. And the box, the writing itself lights up the sort of colours that you sort of radiant, with the radiant magic that you're pumping into it, also sort of combined with some of the sort of shadow aspects of you as well. And it moves along the seams, and you hear a crunch noise, and then all of the sides of the bookcase fall apart, and the sort of top bit falls down as well. And it all just seems to sort of disintegrate into water and flops to the floor, and then instantly dries as the book sort of floats there and begins hovering over towards you and lands in your lap.
You just kind of sit down cross-legged and open it as if it's story time.
And as you begin to open it, there is resistance to start off with, and you have to get your muscles into it to rip the book open. And as you do, light begins to crack out of it as you begin to open it, but as soon as you pull it open, it just explodes outwards into a mass of radiant light that acts like a beacon to anything far away. So the people down in Merkstead are going to see this as it just shoots up into the air. As that happens, you feel your wrist begin to shake violently as these journals begin to pull themselves out of your armband, and the 5 journals begin to float around the codex. And as that happens, you watch as, and for some reason, oddly enough, this happens almost instantaneously. You watch as all these dust particles begin to shoot over the mountain ranges, and for the people who are down in Merkstead, they'll see this when this happens, but loads of dust and ash and particles begin to come out of Solomon's vault and begin to shoot up towards the mountain top almost instantaneous, and they begin floating around and spinning around the 5 journals that are hovering over the codex, as the journals and the dust and the codexes begin to absorb into the book itself. And you watch as all of this brilliant writing begins to come across, as if the codex was like partially full, and now that all of the writings of Peripatea's lives past that have gone, every single one that wasn't put into this codex, begin to join the codex. And as that happens, Peri, you look down at the book as the blinding light rushes into your face, and then for you again, everything goes white, and you open your eyes to be in a large field, which you recognize. It's the field that you see every time you're stood on the other end of the bridge. In the archway, you are on the other side of it. You can turn around, you can see the archway with the bridge there, and you are in this beautiful landscape. There is like rainbows in the sky, there are waterfalls falling off of mountains, sometimes the water is shooting up in a different direction. The grass is multiple different colours, it's greens, blues, pinks, and browns and purples. There is a large floating castle off in the distance, and as you take a step, you watch as the ground begins to split away, and you sort of have to hop onto one side, and you can look down and you can see a world, one little area, and you recognize that straight away as Idorune, the continent that you live on. The entire world itself is encompassed in purple aether other than that one area. And as you look down, you look around and you watch as 3 figures approach you, flying, wings on their backs, as they land down next to you, standing 8 to 10 feet tall, dressed in golden armor. Current Peripatea has never seen anything like this, but there's something in your head that registers these are Valkyria. These are the guardians of the heavens. The place that you were trying to get to the entire time was heaven, or Aeodrun's version of it. And they kneel down towards you as they land. And as they do, you watch as a large shadow appears above them, as a giant black rock bird flies over and nosedives down into a swirl of feathers, and stepping out of it, your identical twin sister, Freyan, as she just runs over to you and gives you a big hug.
Right?
Oh, Peri, it's good to see you. I was just making my preparations to come down and help you.
The temple's opened, right? I saved a life, but they got inside. So I'm just trying to... I had this book and I was trying to awaken the memories before we go in to stop them.
That's good. That's good that you've opened it. Right. Welcome to what we like to call Elysium. Or heaven. It's got different names depending on where you're from, but this is where the gods used to live a long time ago. This is where we're from.
Wait, we're from here originally?
We're from here. This all used to be part of the world below, but when the gods separated themselves, they bought this continent sort of up here. This is where we were raised. She points over to a small little settlement, a little town over there. That's where Mother and Father used to live.
All this time, I've never even thought about who our original parents were.
Our father was a woodmaker, and our mother was a scientist.
I guess that makes sense. Are they also? I guess you say past tense, so
They died during the War of Divinity.
right? Yeah, of course.
When the gods left, they were when the war ravaged the lands, and before we were chosen as guardians, and before you were chosen as a titan, they were among the civilian casualties. It's one of the main reasons why me and Ethia both chose to take on the mantles, to avenge them and to protect you.
Protect me.
We were made guardians before you were made a titan.
And why were you two picked and I wasn't?
There was something in you that the gods were worried about, a darkness. Mother and father's death hit you harder than you had a different reaction than what we did.
Meaning I was angry, you know how people are when they lose loved ones.
We were all angry, but you were borderline murderous.
Is that a wrong reaction to have?
According to the gods, it is, yes. Or it was, should I say. They were worried that amplifying as part of becoming a guardian is your emotions get amplified. If your feelings towards what happened to our parents were amplified at that point, you could have done unspeakable things to people. Obviously, you calmed down, but at the point when the guardians need to be made, you were not chosen to be one, which is why you were given the opportunity to become a titan afterwards. That's why you were the first titan. You were the first choice.
Oh, well, at least I was the first choice, I guess. I'm sorry I'm too unstable for you.
You were at the point when our parents had just died, as anybody would be. Your relationship with our mother was something that both myself and Ethia never had. So you took her death incredibly hard.
Is this why you didn't talk to me for so long? You didn't come to me, you didn't try and find me.
No, it had nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with that. To start off with, in your earlier lives, it was more, there was a lot to do. The world was one, we were fighting in the War of Divinity, and then we were trying to recover from it. So there was just no time for me to get to you. And then as time went on and you reincarnated, it became more and more difficult to find you, especially when it got to the point where recently where you didn't come through the archway and you joined with the being that you're with, the person that you're with now. It became incredibly difficult to find you. It's like their essence has been shielding your divinity from everyone. So I haven't been able to locate you.
So something has been purposefully keeping us apart.
Yes. I don't think it was intentional, though. Your friend, and points towards your chest, is quite powerful, but I don't think it was her intention to shield you from myself. I think it was to shield you from whatever else is after you. This
Meaning?
figure in the archway that you said you saw that I never saw.
Yeah, guy with the scythe. Person with the scythe, rather.
The fallen god.
The fallen god. Who I am assuming I'll remember when I'm awakened or whatever.
I reckon so, yes. He had a direct hand in the creation of the Titans. You were originally intended to be the evil counterpart to us Guardians, but the gods are able to intervene beforehand and sort of disrupt the creation, which is why I've since discovered is why your reincarnation and memory loss are a thing. That was a stipulation imposed upon you by Atheon, the Galekeeper.
When I find him, because this system
Is fucked.
Yeah. It not only it made me unable to do any bloody good being a Titan, I don't even know what the fuck that means. But the bullshit it opened me up for by fucking Solomon et al.
I'm just incredibly sorry that I wasn't able to be there for you.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you weren't really there for me after my parents died either, so Hatton, but you can be here for me now, and that's... Sorry, I hold grudges very, very deeply. I didn't expect to actually just be told about something that happened and that to elicit emotions, but I'm trying to appreciate that you're here now.
Come with me. She holds her hand out to you.
I look at it for a moment and then shake myself a little bit and take it.
She's wearing a glove on her hand because, as you know before, if you physically touch her, she will hurt you unintentionally. But she leads you towards the settlement, and you can see that there's people roaming around in there. There's farmers farming in the fields. There are shopkeepers in the shops and things. But there's one house that looks like it has no activity or anything happening at all. She leads you to that house and opens the door and gestures for you to walk inside. All of the things that you want, are looking for, are in here. I will be right out here if you need anything, but this is something that you need to experience on your own.
There's a lot of things I need to do on my own. But no, yes. I'll call if I need anything.
Okay. And she shuts the door. As soon as she shuts the door disappears and the lights in the room begin to flicker and sort of begin to dim and glow green, dim, glow blue, dim, glow, a cacophony of different colours. And you begin to watch as ghostly figures begin to appear as if they're stepping out of view and begin walking around the house and looking around and picking things up. And you can see, first of all, you can see your previous life, Peripatea, the pink scaled dragonkin, is walking around. You can see a more humanoid version, which was the life before that. And you can just see hundreds, thousands, they're all walking within each other. There's thousands of them just milling around. And on the desk, there is or on a table, sort of like the dining room table, there is the codex is sat there.
Okay, team. Let's get cracking.
They all stop and look at you.
They wave to them.
They all do. They literally mimic what you do. They all turn their heads and they wave back at you.
United we fall, united we rise. Let's go. I go over to the codex.
You begin reading the book, and very similar to how the previous journal that you've read worked, the writing begins to glow colours and you begin to feel these memories begin to come back to you. However, because this is the Codex of Peripatea, it's the original, you come to a crossroads where it says, as you've read before, you can choose now whether to create your own body and give Gwen her body back, or you can permanently fuse yourself to Gwen, and Gwen's essence and Gwen's soul will become a part of you, who you are.
I'd like to just kind of get a feel for Gwen, just be like, Gwen, you in there? Can you hear me?
As you say that, you feel this golden light pull from you, and Gwen is next to you, and she places her hand on your shoulder. I'm here, Peri. It's the first time she's ever spoken to you.
Wow, your voice really is like soft and angelic. I didn't really believe it, considering the bitchy things you were propelling me to say. Maybe you. We'll see.
We all have our fun sides.
Yeah. Look, you know the decision that I'm making. I want to know what you want. Because you've been here protecting me this whole time. I've been hijacking your body that was also supposed to be dead. Like, this is only polite.
I'm thankful that you've stopped and considered how I might feel in this situation. Yes, it is true that I have been protecting you for as long as I can. I could sense that there was something dark trying to get to you, and I used whatever essence I have to try and block it from finding you, and it's worked so far. But you've made some good friends who care for you deeply. I feel that you don't need my protection anymore. But I also understand if you still want somebody with you all of the time. I don't know what the future holds for me if we were to separate. I don't know if I come back as a dead body, if I just stay here. I don't know, but I will gladly go in whatever direction you want. There could be a chance that you could regain all of your power in your own body.
So I want to give you a chance. I've felt weird about being a parasitic pseudo deity for a while. This whole system is really weird. I think we can both agree on that.
It's very strange, yes. I wasn't as in tune with the creation and maintenance that there is with the Guardian and now the Titan. So I understand it a bit more now.
I think I want to give you the chance to kind of reclaim your body and your life if there's just the littlest chance. And yeah, I'm going to be going it alone for a little while. I get the feeling that I've always kind of had to do that. So I'm really thankful for the time that we've had, you having my back. I hope the people will continue to be there. There's a chance that they won't be, but I'll try and remember that there are people like you who are there and willing to help, whatever happens.
She takes your hands off of the book and sort of spins you round and holds your hands together. And she just gives you a very warm smile. She's still got that very yellow, radiant, ethereal glow to her as she smiles at you. Just allow me to share the burden with you, please. As one final thing, allow me to help you one last time.
One last time.
One last time. And you can turn back and begin the ritual of crafting your own body. This is all happening in your head. So, from the outside, for Udric and Vesenia, you can see as Peripatea's body begins to, starting off from their heart, where their heart would be, where Gwen's soul resides, this radiant energy begins to pull out and almost begin, and their skin begins to turn that brilliant radiant white color as it begins to track up their face and pull over their eyes, through their hair, as it all begins to cascade down through their legs. Basically, they're becoming basically a ball of radiant light at this point. And you watch as there's a separation that begins to happen, a bit similar to anybody who's watched the new series of Doctor Who, where they do the whole bi-generation thing, where they split apart. That begins to happen between Peri and Gwen from the outside. While that's happening, on the inside, Peri, you watch as, and please do not be a mean player when I do this, as you begin doing this, and you can watch as the creation of your body begins to happen in the air. Every single one of your previous lives come up to you, and they tell you what their name is. They're all Peripatea, but some of them did adopt other names, or other versions of Taya. Some were called T, others were called Taya. A whole plethora of different ways to spell your name, and some of them took on alternative identities. And as they told you their name, and they placed their hands on yours and were sort of absorbed into you, flash of memories come back as you begin to remember everything. You get some where they were just a general busybody around the town. You get some where you see a couple of their deaths as well. It's like you've got thousands of lives flashing before your eyes. One of them died by tripping over their slippers. It's that sort of thing, and it's just multiple lives and memories begin to happen, and very similar to how it works in Avatar: The Last Airbender, where a lot of this influence came from. As you are stood there, they form a circle around you, and they just all look towards you as this energy begins to build up. But as this energy begins to build up in you, you now have the option, as Gwen is looking at you, it's like an orb that you can place inside of your chest to finish your body being created. But Gwen looks at you and she says, I can take half of that if you share the burden with me.
No. Gwen, I'm not going to ask you to do anything else for me.
I've protected you for as long as I can. This is the one final thing that I can do for you.
No, you've protected me long enough.
I'm forever going to be touched by you.
The best thing you can do for me now is to look after yourself.
I will try, but please be careful.
When am I ever careful? And I pull it into myself.
You go to pull it into yourself, and as you do, all of the bodies, all of the spirits take on a physical they become more solid within yourself. You turn as the door opens, and Freyan nods towards you and says, I'll see you soon. And she runs off as she's going to begin making her descent down towards Aeodrun to find you. Or she knows where you are, but she's going to come to you, basically. As that happens, you shut your eyes and open, and you can see that you're back at the top of the temple as your body is beginning to split apart. And you can see Gwen is there. Gwen looks completely different to how Peripatea looked. Still a dark elf, but with instead of the white hair, had long sort of raven black hair. Her ears were slightly longer than what yours were, and she wasn't as her muscles weren't as defined as what yours were, because when you took over her body, there was a bit of a metamorphosis that happened. So she's coming out how she originally looked, and oddly enough, she's coming out wearing her priest's priestial robes as she and sort of falls to the floor, and the glow leaves her as she sort of looks up towards you as you raise up into the sky, and you watch as this radiant energy for Udric and Hera begins to turn black as shadows begin to pull off, and instinctively your scythe comes out as shadows, and it comes out, and begins to extend in size. Just for comparison, Vesenia, when you were Hera and you did the whole one-on-one where you had the big scythe and we had the scythe off between Peri and Hera at that point, this scythe now dwarfs that scythe. So this is very much a no thing. Anyway, we are going to leave the physical description of what Peri Betrayal looks like until the next session. But one last thing I will leave you on is Peri. You feel a strong and primordial connection to something that you had lost a long, long time ago. And that is something that we will talk about in the next session. But for the moment, that is all we have time for. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We have been Roll Together RPG. If you like what you see, we do D&D streams on Mondays, and we do other streams other times during the week as well. Keep an eye on our socials to find out what we're doing, when we're doing it, and also join our Discord, because that's where we post most of our information on what it is we're doing. Massive thank you to our sponsors and supporters, and a massive thank you to my players for being absolutely fantastic as always, and also to the D20 Club dice heads and other tiers on Patreon. They are fantastic. They are the best. You can join them from as little as one of your local currency per month, or one goat, which must be sent to Tom for various different reasons, as we have established. We will see you next week to see what happens with this situation. Don't go anywhere. Well, do go anywhere. Come back is what I mean. Anyway, bye.